God, why did you bring me to this wicked world without my sight?
Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine never opening them again. No colors, no smiles, no warnings before you fall. Just darkness and the sound of a world that keeps moving without you. This is the story of Amara, a girl born blind in a small village outside Enugu, Nigeria. A girl nobody helped until one voice in the darkness refused to stay silent. Amara came into the world on a stormy night in 2005. Her mother, a young widow, already raising 3 sighted children after losing her husband
Sorry,
to illness.
my husband. This will be over. You will be fine soon.
Held the newborn baby and felt only one despair. The midwife whispered, "Her eyes, they don't move."
She is a very beautiful girl, but her eyes, they are not moving.
My child.
From that day, her mother called her my little curse. As a toddler, Amara learned the hard map of her home by crawling on all fours, feeling every crack in the floor, every sharp edge of furniture. Her siblings ran freely, describing the bright sky, the green mangoes, the colorful wrappers at the market. Amara only knew their laughter and their cruel jokes. "Blind bat, watch where you are going," they would shout, then move objects so she would trip and fall. Her mother rarely intervened. Instead, she would sigh and say, "What can I do? God gave me this burden, I must carry it." No one in the village offered real help. At night, Amara crawled on a thin mat in the corner. She would whisper to the darkness, "God, if you made me this way, please send someone who can see me."
Why did you bring me to this wicked world without my sight?
Relative visited, dropped small coins into her palm out of pity, then left quickly as if blindness was contagious. Amara grew up hungry, not just for food, but for touch, for kind words, for someone to describe the world to her. But years passed, and the only answers were silence and hunger. By age 12, Amara had stopped asking for help. She taught herself to fetch water by listening to the buckets hit the surface of the well. She learned to wash clothes by feeling for dirt with her raw fingertips. But school was out of the question. "Money is tight," her mother said. "Your brothers need education. You will only waste it." The village children sometimes let her join games, but only as one who counted while they hid, never as a real player. One afternoon, during a heavy rain, Amara slipped in the mud while trying to follow their voices. She fell into a ditch, cutting her knee badly. No one helped her. She limped back home, her blood mixed with rainwater, listening to her siblings laughing inside the house. Her grandmother, the only soul who ever showed her tenderness, died when Amara was 14. Before she passed, she taught Amara a few old Igbo hymns. "Sing them when the night feels long," she said. Those songs became Amara's secret light. Then came the day everything changed and got worse. Her mother, exhausted from feeding 5 mouths, argued about their wedding neighbor, Madam Chioma, a very sharp-tongued widow with a large compound and 3 spoiled children. "You need a maid? Take my blind daughter. She costs nothing but food." Madam Chioma inspected Amara like livestock. "She looks weak, but if she can walk, fine. 15 naira a day, 1 meal. She sleeps in the boys' quarters. Break anything and you deduct it." Amara mothers pushed her forward without a goodbye hug. "Go. At least one of us will eat tonight." At 16, Amara crossed into a new kind of prison. The first week was a nightmare of shouts and bruises. Madam Chioma's rules were iron. Sweep the entire compound before sunrise. Wash every cloth by hand. Help in the kitchen, but touch nothing expensive. And never let me hear you cry. I have no time for weakness.
"You weak child, will you hurry to do the house chores before I put my hand on your face?"
I'm doing it now, ma. I'm sorry, please. My wound is painful.
Stop your crying. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Amara's days blurred into pain. Mornings, sweeping with a broom too tall for her. Messy corners, earning slaps. Afternoons, kneeling over a basin, scrubbing clothes until her hands bled from harsh soap, while Madam's daughter deliberately spilled dirty water on the clean ones. Evenings, the kitchen, a battlefield of heat and danger. Hot oil popped like gunfire. Knives waited to claim fingers. One day, while frying yam, a splash of hot oil burned her forearm deeply. She screamed. Madam Chioma rushed in and slapped her hard. Useless blind girl. Do you want to burn my house? The children were even more cruel. They moved stools so she stripped. They hid her sticks. They called her goat and burden. At night, alone in the dark windowless room, Amara would press her burned arm against the cold floor and cry silently. She thought of running away, but where? Back to a mother who saw her as a curse. Months turned into a year and a half. Amara grew thinner. Her spirit dimmed. She began talking to herself, humming grandmother's hymns just to hear kindness in her own voice. One night, after Madame's eldest son beat her for walking too slowly, Amara lay on the floor, body covered in welts, and whispered, "God, take me. I cannot fight this darkness anymore." She stood at the edge of the deep wall behind the compound, feeling the cold air rise from it. The thought of ending the pain was almost sweet, but a small voice, perhaps her grandmother's, whispered, "Not yet, my child. Your song is not finished." She stepped back. The very next morning, a stranger changed everything. Mr. Emeka, a kind man who ran a small NGO supporting persons with disabilities, came to discuss a community project with Madam Chioma. While waiting, she heard Amara singing softly as she washed clothes, a cracked with pure voice carrying years of unspoken pain. He froze. When she finished, he approached gently. "My daughter, who taught you how to sing with so much soul?" For the first time in that house, someone spoke to her with respect. They talked for 20 minutes. Amara poured out her story. Mr. Emeka listened without pity, only quiet anger and determination. He fought Madam Chioma for weeks, even offering a full year's salary in advance. Finally, she agreed. Amara left with nothing but a torn wrapper, a small braille Bible Mr. Emeka gave her, and the scars that told her whole story. At the school for the blind in Enugu, Amara stepped into a different world. Other blind children moved confidently with white canes. They laughed, they argued, they dreamt. Teachers greeted her warmly. No one called her a burden. She learned braille rapidly, her hungry fingers devouring raised dots like a thirsty person finding water. For the first time, she read stories about strong girls, about hope, about purpose, but her deepest hunger was music. Every evening under the mango tree, she hummed those old hymns. Miss Ifoma, the music teacher who had also lost her sight after in life, heard her and said, "Amara, music is not about eyes, it's about the heart. Let me teach you what others miss. Let me teach you braille music." Learning braille music was brutally hard. The code was complex, different from literal braille. Dots represented notes, rhythms, dynamics. Amara's fingers swelled and bled for hours of tracing. She cried in frustration many nights. "I can hear the melody perfectly in my head, but my hands are too slow." Other students encouraged her, "Keep going, your voice already heals us." She practiced on an old piano, feeling the vibration through her chest. She trained her ear relentlessly, identifying chords, intervals, and harmony by sound alone. Then came the breakthrough night. Rain pounded the roof as Amara sat at the piano, remembering the oil burns, the slap, the loneliness. She composed her first original song, "Seen in the Dark."
In the darkness I was lost, no one saw my silent tears. Oh bro, Juntako, Jaman, the deepest heavy. It saw me when world passed by.
Mr. Emeka recorded it simple, just her voice over a black screen with white lyrics. It went viral quietly at first, then exploded. Millions of views, comments poured in like rain. "I am a sighted mother, and I am crying because I have never asked my own child how they really feel. As a blind person in Kano, thank you for singing what we cannot say. Sending money for the school right now." That song opened the floodgates to Amara's true calling. With donations, the school bought adapted recording equipment and a quality keyboard. Amara spent dawn to dusk in the music room. She wrote feverishly, burns on my arms, raw and angry, with the kitchen accident and the slap that followed. 50 naira dreams about the menja pay that could never by dignity. Grandmother's hymn, a tender tribute filled with longing. Learning to perform live terrified her. On stage, unable to see the audience, she felt naked again.
Through the storm, I rise and sing my voice and light that freedom brings. With every step through rain and fear, my song will carry me from there to here.
But when she sang, her voice became her eyes, reaching straight into her heart and the heart of people. Her first concert at a disability awareness event in Enugu was unforgettable. After singing in the dark, the hall fell silent, then erupted in standing ovation and tears. A local gospel artist heard her and invited her to feature on a track. Then came her first EP, Light in My Night, 5 deeply personal songs. Success brought back new challenges. Fame meant travel. Traveling meant depending on guides. There were setbacks. A bad recording session where she broke down, doubting if a blind maid could ever belong in music. Mr. Emeka sat with her. Your blindness is not a limitation. It's your unique lens on the world. She pushed through. She released her first full album, Voice from the Dark. It included a powerful collaboration with a sighted producer who learned to describe visuals to Amara. Amara began touring churches, schools, and events across Nigeria. Every performance ended with the same dedication. This is for every girl still sweeping in darkness. Your song is coming. The most healing moment came when she returned to her village church. She performed a brand new song written for her mother. Mama, I forgive you. Mama, I know the weight you carried. I know the fear that made you turn away. But in this darkness, I found my way. Mama, I forgive you today. Her mother, sitting in the front row, broke down completely. For the first time, she hugged Amara tightly and whispered, I was wrong. You were never my curse. You are my greatest blessing.
In the quiet of this room, my heart begins to soar, God in the
Today, at 21, Amara Okeke is a respected recording artist with 2 albums. She teaches music at the same school, using braille music notation to show other blind children how to turn pain into melody. Her foundation supports blind girls from poor families, paying school fees and providing music lessons. She still visits Madam Chioma's compound monthly, not as a maid, but as a mentor. She sings with the new girls there and tells them, your voice is your power. Never let anyone silence it. Amara's journey proved that the longest night can birth the most beautiful dawn. She was forgotten, beaten, invisible, but she chose to sing anyway. And the world finally opened its ears. If Amara's story touched the deepest part of you, if it made you cry for the unseen people around you, please like this video, share it with someone who feels invisible tonight. In the comments, tell us, what pain have you carried in silence? Can you please become a Mr. Emeka for this week? Because somewhere right now, another Amara is humming in the dark, waiting for one person to stop, listen and say, I see you. You can be that person. This video is dedicated to every voice singing through silence. Your story is not over. Help is coming your way. Your song matters. And please, would you have forgiven your mother if you were Amara?
Through the storm, I rise and sing my voice and light that freedom brings.